The state of Illinois is facing the worst budget deficit in the nation, yet it still has $200,000 in taxpayer money to spend on things like eco-friendly zip lines. So why isn't the state putting an end to this frivolous spending? Joining us now is the president of Citizens Against Government Waste, Tom Schatz. Tom, nice to see you this morning.
Good morning, Clayton.
You know, these local services, local governments and state governments basically saying, look, we're so strapped. We're having a difficult time paying for the essential services, fire departments, police departments, etc. Do you buy that argument once you've done this new report?
Absolutely not. We have done these state piglet books since 2002, more than 40 of them. We've done Illinois several times in conjunction with the Illinois Policy Institute. The state raised the income tax rates by 67% last year, about $1,500 per family, and they're still claiming that they can't do enough to balance their budget. They've got an $8 billion annual deficit, $44 billion cumulative deficit, the largest in the nation. It's just a mess, and they're not addressing the obvious wasteful spending.
You released this new Illinois Piglet book for government waste, and among the things that you found in here are things like this. We'll put them up on the screen. You can take them through them for us, Tom. Here, bobbleheads. But we're paying for bobbleheads?
This is the Springfield Park District. It's for a collegiate summer baseball team, something called the Prospect League, which I never even heard of. And they're modeling it after their Speedy the Turtle mascot. That's how ridiculous that one is.
I'm glad taxpayers are paying for that. Here's another one, Swine Time Pig Racing.
More than $20,000 for a local pig racing contest in Rock County. These go on all over the country. No reason any taxpayer dollars should be used for this purpose.
Among some other, no, those were some of the smaller ticket items, if you can believe that, $9,000, $20,000 respectively. But now here we have some larger priced ones, one of the ones we talked about here. Eco-friendly zip lines. How much are we spending here? $200,000?
Right. Williamson County, again, something that is a private operation, should be paid for by the people that want to go on the zip line. They seem to be popular enough. Let it pay for itself.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tourist attraction. When you go on vacation somewhere, you go to Alaska, there's other places on the side of a mountain, you pay a hefty sum to go on these things. I don't understand why they would need taxpayer dollars to work on that. Also,
well, unfortunately, that happens a lot of recreational activities these days.
Another thing, and this just blew me away, a vacant lot for $2 million? I could see some sort of brand new school facility or some sort of public center or library center or something like that, but for an empty lot?
Well, these are tax increment financing funds supposed to reduce blight in villages, towns, urban areas, and certainly building a vacant lot is just going to create more blight in that town.
I mean, I could come in there and do it for like 20 grand. Give me a lawnmower, and I could come in there and do that. Here's another one, $2 million for getting cable to prison inmates.
The Illinois prison inmates are cost on average about $38,000 a year, more than any other neighboring state, most other states in the Midwest. Cable for prisoners, really, let's do something better with them and get them rehabilitated and off the public dole and back into some kind of productive life.
Wouldn't mind some prisoners watching Fox and Friends this morning. If you aren't there, hopefully you're not offended by that. Tom, when you do these studies, you take them to these different states, what's the response from the state legislature or the governor's office?
Well, the legislators appreciate the work that's being done. Again, the expertise of the local group, Illinois Policy Institute, the state think tank, has been a tremendous help. We've done it in many other places. Best example, perhaps, of a policy that was proposed was the Oklahoma Piglet book many years ago, helped start the transparency movement for government information around the country. So in many cases, these recommendations do have a big impact. But the principle is, whether it's the fiscal cliff or the state budget, get rid of the waste first, and then start thinking about possibly raising some taxes.
Whatever would we do without those bobbleheads? Tom Schatz, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.